Okay, guys, a little caveat here. Look, unfortunately, the stream for Twitch was really bad, and there was just no way I could see all of what was going on. So I have to make this video with the understanding that there's a lot missing here, and I have to do some speculation. Now, I know some of you would say, dude, why don't you wait until the next day and just catch it? Well, here's the thing, guys. I have a situation in my apartment where I don't like talking about what's been going on behind the scenes in my life. But unfortunately, in this situation, I have to because of this, that the mindset I'm in. I've been very frustrated due to the fact that my bathroom ceiling collapsed. Yeah. My bathroom ceiling collapsed because of water damage. Again. It usually happens every year or two. And in this situation, it happened July 3rd. So no one came in Friday. No one came in Saturday, of course. No one came in Sunday, of course. No one really came Monday to my apartment, but supposedly they were supposed to fix the leak. It didn't happen. Today, the guy was supposed to come. He didn't come. I did see him at the end of the day, and he said he's going to be coming to possibly tomorrow. So that's the reason why I'm doing this video now, because I don't know what mindset I'm going to be in. I don't know what state my bathroom is going to be in. So I don't even know if I'm going to do my AEW review, because I don't know what mindset I'm going to be in. So I'm sorry. I have to do it like this. So I hope you understand, and I hope you do get something out of this review. Now, Susie and Kylie Rae versus Taya and Rosemary. Johnny Bravo, I don't know if he did anything because the stream kept cutting out. And what's going on with, understand this, there's nothing wrong with Kylie Rae, there's nothing wrong with Susie. No problem. They're doing the dynamic between the two, and I want to see when Susie turns to Sue Young and see how Kylie Rae responds to it. That's what I want to see. But what was the little possible story between the Taya Valkyrie, the Rosemary, and the Johnny Bravo? The possible triangle of Rosemary trying to take Johnny Bravo away and Taya trying to stop that. They're not doing it. At least right now. Maybe after Slammiversary, but right now there's nothing there, so I don't really care. Now, the Deaners versus Reno Scum versus XXXL versus TJ and Falaba. Now, I didn't see all of it because the stream kept dropping way too much. I do know that Reno Scum, Falaba, and TJ went to the back. And I'm going to forget about them. When it comes to the Deaners and XXFL, you got, I like Larry D. I like Ace Romero. I think when the time comes, they become champions, it will be interesting. Kind of like the National Disasters. Two really big guys no one can take care of. And I want to see the tag division be scared of them and have to rise to the occasion to beat their asses. But that's a long way off, if ever. And when it comes to the Deaners, are not getting anywhere. Even though they won, I just don't see anything. The only ones that I really like the most, that I truly feel, look, I like XXXL. I truly do. But when it comes down to it, the one that is the most underutilized, that has been there longer than almost anybody, has been Reno Scum. Thorn Scope and Luster the Legend, I do like them. And I truly believe they've been kind of hosed here. Yes, maybe they never had a real contract and they just kept coming in and out. Yes, I know Thorn Scope got hurt. Stone got hurt and he was gone for a while. He came back. But I truly believe they could have done something with them when they were okay. And yeah, they were working with Ace Austin, but I just feel like they were being underutilized as muscle. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Now, you had Kimberly versus Jordan Grace. Now, from what I could see of the match, because it was a better part of the stream, I'm not trying to bury Kimberly, but you got 12 days supposedly before Slammiversary, and then you have Jordan Grace, who has barely done any matches, struggling almost at one point against a Kimberly. I would have liked it if Diana Purrazzo had been more exerting herself making them play her music during the match on and off, making her think that she's coming out when she's not. And then you could have done the Titantron, just to show that she's in her head. That, I think, would have been better than seeing Kimberly get so much defense in, even though she got her butt whooped, and she did. I just felt like it could have been a little bit more where it really could feel like Purrazzo is really in Jordynne Grace's brain, taking up rent and paying more or less rent than me. But that's just me, you guys. Tell me below. We got a video package that's for the main event of Slammiversary when it comes to Trey, Eddie, as well as Ace Austin. They've already made it very clear that Tessa's gone, sadly. And I do have something to say about Sami Callihan at the end of this review if I don't forget. But essentially, the one who spoke the best with the most emotion was Trey. Nothing against Eddie, nothing against Ace. But Trey gave the most emotion. Now, was it good emotion? It was a bit of a mixed bag for me personally. It felt like he was trying way too hard. He really was trying way too hard. Now, many people will perceive this as extreme passion and emotion, and it will go over with them. But as someone who's watched the Rascals for more than 1.5 years, and they've done nothing with any one of them, and then they gave this storyline to Trey, and in every scenario other than tag matches, he has managed to win. That's the only way he's won against Ace. He has lost multiple times to Ace in single competition, either it was for the title of the X Division or not. It makes no difference. And if it was on Explosion that he won, doesn't count because it wasn't on Impact. And I'm not against anybody who says Explosion's great, but not everyone's going to be watching Explosion. They're going to be watching Impact. So when it comes down to it, seeing this, it felt like he was trying way too hard to compensate for it. That's just me. You guys tell me below. Locker room talk, where it was about Madison Rayne going back into the ring. She interviewed herself. And I'm not a big person when it comes to locker room talk, but I'm not going to lie. That was stupid. It was kind of funny. It was. It was funny. Not going to lie. Then you got the Hood Rats in a... I have to say Hood Rats. I'm sorry, guys. If you think it's a little going too far when it comes to Kiera Hogan and Tasha Steelz, I'm sorry. But they're acting like Hood Rats. They are. And I like that. They're acting like trifling women that could back it up in the ring. And that's nothing wrong with that. Then you got Navarra. And then you got Havoc. And they're coming out and they're basically facing them saying, we're sick of what you've been doing. You're going to get it once we go to the gauntlet. And then they break out into a fight. I'm fine with it. Now the question is going to be, because I heard the rumors that there's a good possibility they may be bringing back the tag titles for the women. They got 14 women. 14 that's going to be in the match at Slammiversary. They need more than that. Now, if they do bring it back and they bring in more women, maybe women that you don't normally see on Impact that are on Explosion, that would be a great thing. But it's still a question if they're going to do it or not. I don't know. I hope so, but you guys tell me below what you think. Hernandez still arm wrestling, and now with Rhino, they're in my face. Why? Why? This is just something funny, but in the sense it's not funny. I don't know. You guys tell me below if you like it or not. Now, the main event. You had... Wait, let's talk about Tommy and Moose before I forget. Tommy and Moose had their little moment. Tommy apologizing to Moose because he demanded an apology and he rubbed it in his face. And he said that the officials and the leader of TNA said that he's the #1 contender. And Moose said, there is no such people, and says, that's right. There is no more TNA. But I'm going to take that title. So we will have that match at Slammiversary. Like I said, we didn't know who was going to be. There were some people that thought EC3 would probably be the one that's going to go after the TNA title. I was hoping for Eli, to be honest. That's who I was hoping for. Eric Young. but it's going to be Tommy. And to be honest, I don't want to see Tommy in a match against Moose at Slammiversary. Whether he wins it or not, I'm being honest here. As I told you, I said this 100% clearly weeks ago. If this is not leading to Moose trying to unify the titles, or for Moose to be the one who makes the title relevant enough that it becomes a mid-card title, even if they got to change the name, if they really mean it, they could say the Legacy title, the TNA Legacy title, that could be a name for the new title. But if this is just going to the Slammiversary, that Tommy wins, takes the title and does nothing with it, or Moose keeps the title and then does nothing with it after Slammiversary, then like I said, this was a waste of time for Moose. It was. It's just me, you guys. Tell me below. Finally, Josh Alexander versus Sami Callihan. Because we now know there is going to be a match. Because last week, we found out there's going to be a match at Slammiversary for these 4 guys. I'll say what I think about Sami after I say the last thing. But they had the match. You had, well, it was expected that Shamrock was going to come out and save Sami to a certain extent, which he did. And Sami won the match. But in the end, I'll explain it at the end of this review. But the thing I want to talk about that I really enjoyed was the segment with... I think I'm just going to put ha 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 at the end of this video, even though I will talk about Sami at the end of this. But when it came to Johnny Swinger wanting to figure out, and I managed to catch this. This is when the stream picked back up. When he was with Chris Bay, the smooth criminal himself. He's saying, you see what happened when you open your damn mouth? Now you're not gonna be ringside with me? When I go up against Willie Mack, he said, don't worry, daddy. You go and relax, get some exercise and get those abs working. I will find a way to be there for you, daddy. So he went into the locker room, tried to find suits. He found a luchador suit. Then he sees Suicide suit. I want to laugh so bad. He sees Suicide suit. So he decides to throw it on, cuts an open slit in it like he was still wearing his, whatever he was wearing. And then he meets up with Willie Mack, and Willie offers him the opportunity to get into the ring and go for the X Division title, because he said last week, because of Suicide saving him, he gives him the shot. And oh my goodness, you can see he tried to be Suicide and he looked so stupid. It's like a B movie from the 70s and early 80s. If you guys have never know what a B movie is, it is a movie that is so freaking bad that it transcends being horrible, that you can't handle it, to being good. I'm not saying Johnny Swinger is the greatest comedian that you could ever see on Impact. He's not. But there are moments where something just clicks. There you go. It just was stupid when he was in the ring. It was stupid when he tried to do Suicide's move and then falls through. It's in my face. He's hanging himself between the ring ropes like Suicide, that either TJ Perkins or Caleb Connolly always does. And he couldn't even barely accomplish it. And he falls on his face. It was damn funny. I don't know what made me laugh my ass off. It just made me laugh. In the end, of course, he loses. But that short little moment of you seeing Buster Keaton comedy. If you don't know who Buster Keaton, Google the man. He, next to Charlie Chaplin. I'm a history buff when it comes to TV and movies to a certain... Not like... this is 10. I'm like here. I know a good amount of stuff. This is where the echelon of people who know history of movies. I'm like somewhere around here. I know a little bit. Like there. But if you've never seen Charlie Chaplin or Buster Keaton, you need to look at them, because they were slapstick beyond stink. And this reminded me of that and made me laugh. I just loved it. Now, briefly about Sami. I'm kind of glad I laughed because it just hurts me to see Sami in this condition. I'm sure Sami is fine working with Shamrock. Shamrock's fine working with Sami. They may even get the titles and work together for a program until they break up and start fighting one another again. That might happen. But let's be honest here. Do you actually think it's right that Sami Callihan, a guy who was red hot last year and was even hotter the year before when it came to Eddie and him, when he cracked Eddie in the eye, not on purpose but accidentally, had his feud with that man, then goes off and then has a feud with Rick Swann, and then, even though I do not agree how he was booked going up against Tessa, had that feud with Tessa that made things so interesting and Impact, even if it wasn't good interesting. He's now relegated to doing a tag match at Slammiversary instead of being in the main event where you could still have the mystery wrestler. He should be there. This is where he is. I don't know about you. If you've never seen Chris Van Vlien's video talking to Sami, Sami's willing to do whatever it takes to make things right in wrestling. He put himself on the chopping block in a sense for Tessa. He believes in women's wrestling. And this is what we get from Tessa. Tessa did not want, and they made it very clear, unprecedented, that the title is now up for grabs. They fired Tessa because she refused to do her job. She didn't want to do the job. She didn't want to do her vignettes. And even if she was still stuck in Mexico, she should have did the damn vignettes. Or at least dropped the strap. She didn't want to do it, so they stripped her ass and fired her. This is sad. Sami went through all that program with her, making himself look bad for her. And I know people say, oh no, Sami was good. No, he wasn't. The story they had was not good. It may have given some type of relevance, but doesn't mean it was a good relevance. Look at Sami now. He's relegated to tag team. Tag team wrestling. It's not the point that he could win and something good could come of it. It's sad that he's even there when he never went back into the main title scene after Tessa. He just flopped. So for me personally, it's a damn shame. I hate it. Even if he's fine with it. If someone's willing to put in that much effort for the company, for wrestling, and like I said, I don't hate Tessa. I don't like Tessa in this situation. She did what she did. But when you see the situation, it's still a damn shame. If she felt like she's done everything she could, and she felt like she was done, and she did what she did, fine, more power to her. But the person that gets kind of screwed here, lovely, is Sami Callihan. What is he doing now? You guys tell me, what did he do in the last couple of months leading up to this? He didn't have a rematch with Tessa. He did the ICU bit, which didn't lead anywhere. He didn't destroy OVE. He didn't destroy Eddie. He did nothing. Yeah, he got a couple of matches. He won over Tommy Dreamer, who does the job for people, but it didn't lead him anywhere. So I just feel upset about this. If anyone, you're happy with where he is, more power to you. For me personally, I find it a damn disgrace. Sami Callihan deserved better than to be relegated to tag teams where he's done absolutely nothing before that. He's been floating. Now, if you say he hasn't been floating, explain the reason why I'm wrong. Because as far as I can tell, he has. But this is just my point of view. And like I said, I don't know if I will be doing a review tomorrow of AEW because, like I said, my ceiling in my bathroom collapsed on the 3rd of July. It's still a gaping hole. I don't know if the guy's going to be there and what mindset I'm going to be in. So I hope I will. But if I don't, I hope you understand. Maybe I'll do AEW the next day. Hope you'll be watching for it. Have a good day. Have a good night. Peace.